We're also going to be showing the new Black Label Diamond Paint Coating. This is the product that we're going to be using on this 2013 Dodge Charger. And so far, let me go ahead and bring you up to speed. So far what we've done is we've actually wiped this car clean using the detailer's waterless auto wash. That was to get all the loose dirt off. Then we went ahead and we clayed it because, believe it or not, this thing had some contaminants on it. So we did the baggy test and then we clayed it. So now it's completely smooth and silky. And then me and my team of guys here, we started at the top of the car and went all the way around the car, and we've already compounded and polished everything but the hood. So the only thing left to do now is the hood. Also, there's a contest tonight. And starting right now, the first person to identify the location of Ivan the bobblehead and post that to the thread on the forum is going to win the new Black Label Elite Kit, which retails for, I forget what the full price is, but it's $180. So that's a great price to win. And anyway, so that's where we're at with that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the new Rupes microfiber pads. And these are a unit construction, so they're one piece. There's nothing to delaminate. The blue is cutting, the yellow is polishing. And after doing a little bit of experimenting tonight, we found we were able to pull all the swirls and the scratches out using the coarse compound from Rupes with the blue microfiber pads and the blue foam cutting pads. Then we're going to use the diamond ultrafine polish to refine the results that we create with the compound and create a super high gloss finish. Then we're going to take, and by hand, we're going to go ahead and use the new Black Label surface cleansing polish to remove any polishing oils off the paint. And then we're going to go ahead and apply the Black Label diamond paint coating. So the first thing I want to do is I want to show you how to use this system. And then I have 4 volunteers here. I have Tim, John, over here I got Craig and Gabriel, and these guys have all been practicing with these new tools tonight on the car, on the sides and the roof and the trunk lid. Plus these guys come down and help with all the car projects, so they're fairly good with this type of project to start with. But I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate this, then we'll let these guys take over and tackle the hood here. And can I go ahead and get someone to tape off the squirters? If you notice, this thing has the air squirters for the windshield, and one side is the squirt hole. And if you don't cover this up when you're detailing, you can clog this with polish. Always tape those off. Okay, so here we got the brand new microfiber cutting pads by Rupes. And we got the 6-inch and we got the 4-inch. And the first thing we want to do is we actually want to take and prime this pad. So I'm going to shake this up a little bit. Someone hand me a clean microfiber towel. Thank you. And because this has air slots in it to keep these pads cool and thus keep the paint cool, I find it easier to prime them off of the tool. And the goal here is you want to coat each one of these fibers with product. And the best way to do that is just take your finger and start working that in. Hey Robert, can I get you to come over here and help me maybe prime the smaller one there? Hey everybody, it's Robert DiTrelizzi. Ever since I moved here to Florida, he's been a good friend, always comes down here and helps out with a lot of our detailing processes. He's one of these guys you can trust with the rotary buffer blindfolded. He's that good. So thanks for helping out tonight, Robert.
Yay, Robert. Hey. Anytime.
And over at his shop right now, what do you got over there? Ferrari?
62 Ferrari, California.
So a lot of times I meet a lot of the local car guys, and they don't want to detail their cars themselves, so I kick them over to Robert because I know I can trust him with anything. Okay, so basically just taking our fingers, taking the compound, and just working that into the pad. This is what you do the first time, and that's to coat each one of these fibers. Go ahead and grab your polisher with the abrasives in the compound. And if you do this on the tool, the thing is it's kind of easy to get it through the slots there. See the slots? You push it in there and okay, Okay, this is about as much fun as watching paint dry. But there you go. I think you got the idea. We'll get a little bit more up here in this corner. It looks a little dry to me. Okay, so these are the new Rupes polishers that were introduced at SEMA. Robert has the Mini 12, and I've got the Duetto 12. And the 12 stands for 12 millimeter orbit stroke length. And the other two Rupes that are real popular are the 15 and the 21. And of course, the 15 means a 15 millimeter orbit stroke, and the 21 means a 21 millimeter orbit stroke. So what they've done with these two tools is they've brought the orbit stroke down to a smaller size, but they've increased the RPMs. And that's one of the reasons I like this. I feel like I'm getting a lot of correction using the tool, and it's like the perfect size. It's about the size of a traditional DA polisher, and very easy to control, very smooth, very low vibration. Wouldn't you say so?
Very low vibration, easy to handle. I like the narrow
body there. Real easy to hold on to.
Real easy to hold on to.
Okay, so then after you prime your pad, you want to go ahead and put 3 drops of product onto the face of it. Won't you tell me, I want to tackle this wider section. You want to work up here, maybe tackle one of these sections up in here. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, of course, is good technique, is put the cord over your shoulder so we don't drag this. We've already polished up the sides of this thing. And I'm going to turn the speed down. Now the speed dial on these are on the back. They go from 1 to 6. So I'm going to put this on the 4 just to spread my product around a little bit. Then we're going to both bump them up to the 6. You want to use these microfiber pads at the highest speed setting. And this is key. You can see is this one marked? We've already marked the backing plates on these with a mark because you want to make sure you got good pad rotation. You always want to see that pad rotating. And you don't need to push down very hard. That's what's unique about these tools is most tools you're pushing down hard. And with these tools, you're pretty much letting the orbit stroke, the abrasives, and the type of pad you're using do the work for you. And they, for this one reason, they also generate very little heat to the surface. And that's kind of key because clear coats actually don't like heat. You ready to go?
Ready when you are.
Let's do it. Sal, my good man. When you have a brand new microfiber, they will tend to lint a little bit. They're just kind of breaking in. It's nothing to be concerned about. Now the question is, Yancey, can you come in here and really show them what a nice finish this leaves? With very, very little work. Okay. And I have the new Rupes swirl finder light. I don't know, a lot of times it's kind of tricky for a video camera to pick up light on paint, but we will give this a try. Go ahead, and once you do your magic, then we'll try with the light. So this car is a brand new 2013 Dodge Charger. The owner, Chris, says it's got about 6,000 miles. Why don't you come on over here, Chris?
Good evening.
And how many miles are on this car?
About 6,000.
And you've kept it, and this is adjustable. Let me just go and show you this. This has an adjustable focus, and wow, that looks good. The engineer Marco De Inca told me that he designed this himself, and the bulbs that he chose to do this, they do not. They do not absorb or reflect the red light spectrum, and so they work really good for showing swirls on all different colors of paints. So anyway, and also thank you, Marco. I know that these are not available to the public yet, and you let me have this there at SEMA, so I appreciate that. And I've been putting it to good use. But so, Chris, go ahead, grab the swirl finder line, take a look at this. Tell me what you think. You want to hold that above just a little bit and then look down. What you're looking for is the swirls that were, say, over in these areas are now gone.
It looks beautiful.
Okay.
It's such an improvement over the damage that was done before I got the car.
Sure. And so this car, even though it was brand new, it not only had above surface bond contaminants, it also had fine swirls, probably from how it was washed at the dealership. And I think what Chris said he did is when he pulls this thing out in the sun, while it's a beautiful car, you can't see the metallic flake because there's so many shallow swirls in the clear coat, and that blocks your eyes from seeing the color underneath. So he started doing some research. He found autogeekonline.net. And did you get some references to us from other forums also?
I did. Actually, the Charger forums, and people were on there, and I realized there was a problem, and I wasn't qualified to attack the problem, but I at least knew enough to start asking questions, which led me to you guys, which led me to the answers. And, you know, I'm amazed at the difference we made tonight. The car was a demo, so I picked it up at a great deal, and the sunlight wasn't great, but when I got it home, saw it in the sunlight, realized this problem was there, and I said, you know, I need to reach out and learn, and this is a great place to do it, so thank you.
Yeah, and we always like to thank everybody for trusting us with their cars. So again, so what we just kind of demonstrated was the microfiber pads. Now, I also want to show the foam pads, and I have these already set up on the prototypes that Rupes sent us. So I got this going the right way, guys. Okay. Hey, Robert, can I get you to give me a hand? Sure. Tell you what, why don't we switch places? I'll let you take the big one, and I'll take the little one this time. And we'll pick another place to work on the car. And the one thing I want to show about this is the foam cutting pad, the blue one, the Rupes foam cutting pad. When you feel this, it really feels coarse. In fact, when we were demonstrating these at SEMA, the entire week I would have people fill it, and the most common remark I would hear is, wow, because people couldn't believe how coarse they were. And then when you buff with them, the surprising thing is what a nice finish they leave. So let's go ahead, and for this here, you don't really need to prime your pads. Because you don't put a lot of pressure down on these, if you get too much product on there, it'll have a tendency to sling out, so you want to underuse your product. Again, light pressure, let the orbit stroke of the tool, the aggressive foam, and the compound do all the work. So tell you what, can someone give us a hand here? Who tied the knots down there? We tape these lines. We don't tie knots. Knots make trip hazards. Okay, good enough. Okay, so I tackled this area. Tell you what, I'm going to work. Did you work on the front of this fender here?
I didn't do that fender.
Okay, so why don't you work on that right there? We'll just do a little bit because we're going to let some other guys jump in here and show everybody just how easy this is to do. Okay, ready? I'm going to put this on the 4 to spread this out.
Go.
Hey, thanks, Tim. And what's nice about the smaller Rupes Mini with a 4-inch pad is it fits the body design of a lot of these thin panels that you find on modern cars. It's also a great way to tackle the A-pillar, side view mirrors, down here around the grille, the front end, any place you've got a thin panel. And Chris, since you're the owner, why don't I get you to come up here and check out the results on the top of the fender and up here where Robert worked. And before you do that, have you ever felt one of these pads before?
No.
Feel how coarse that feels.
Feels like sandpaper.
It does. Now look at the finish it leaves. Isn't that amazing?
It is. It really is.
Yeah. So it's a real unique technology that Rupes has introduced to the market. Their large orbit stroke polishers, their combination of compounds and polishes, and then their pads that go with them. And one of the cool things that they also did with this system, where's that pad, is they color coded all the products to the cap on the lid. So it kind of makes it Bubba proof. You match the product cap lid to the pad, and it makes it real easy to get great results every single time. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of the system. Yeah, you can check it out again there. And now you can really see how we talk on the forums. The metallic flake is popping, or it pops. And yeah, the goal is always to get the clear coat as clear as you can, and that's how you can see the metallic flake. And of course, the term pops is when you see it sparkle. Okay, so now let me get my volunteers. Then of course, after you do the cutting step, you would just change pads, switch over to the less aggressive product, and move forward in the process. So I'm going to go ahead and have my guys take over. And yeah. And the compound is right here. Here you go. You guys are set up and ready to go. Just before you go, hey, hold on. It's a good practice. You know, we got all this dust up here, not to buff that into the paint. So let me get that off. That was Robert, not me.
Yeah, Robert. Clean up after yourself, Robert.
Yeah. That's called working clean. Okay, you guys, get on it. Kind of have to work together. Let's focus on the major part of these panels for the broadcast. Remember, we're gonna. Okay. Walking. Watch your foot.
So much for the swing.
Oh, no. Looks good. Neat compound. That looks good.
Yeah? It's hard to believe that this could produce such a nice finish.
I know.
It's so rough.
It is so coarse. Don't worry about it. Top surface. So as you're watching these guys move the polisher, notice how slow they move them.
More scratches in here. Can I work it a little more?
Yeah, get it. Go ahead and grab it.
Ease up under pressure. That's it. He's flattening.
Oh yeah, Gabriel, bring it up. Bring your pressure up just a little bit. There you go. Light pressure. Yeah, this spot right here needs some help.
I just told him that. Robert said, leave it alone. So one more spot there. Yeah, a little bit bigger. See this right here?
All right. Okay. Work that a little bit more, then let's go ahead and move to the next step. Has anybody worked up here? Right here? Okay.
I got the big,
Big kahuna. Let me go away here.
We go with the ultrafine now.
Let them finish all the compounding steps first. microfiber. Here's Craig. Don't run down that hard edge. Yeah, it's a bad. It's just a good habit not to do that. So normally come up to that body line, like I would map this out right here as my section to this body line. I wouldn't keep going up and down that set of body lines. So this would be a panel, and then inside these lines is a panel. So whenever you're looking at a body design on a panel, divide it up by the body line. You run up and down it. Sometimes you can't make a crisscross pattern. On the forum, I always say, let the panel be your guide. And then I put a little picture of Yoda from Star Wars in there. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, smooth, isn't it? Okay, let's go ahead and wipe off and take a look. And one of the things I was pointing out to Craig, where's my camera? There we go. Was anytime you're working on a car, you want to take a look at the body lines. This one here has raised body lines and different shapes to the hood. And you want to use those as a guide as to how you section that panel out and then buff each section. And normally it's not a good idea to buff on top of a raised body line. Now, a brand new car like this with a hard clear coat that's never been buffed, as far as we know by anybody else, there's probably plenty of clear there. But if you work on a car that's a few years old and you didn't know who's buffed on it before you, it could be they buffed on the raised body lines, and now the paint there is what I call whisper thin. And so while it's still there and intact, you come along, you buff on that raised body line, you might be the unlucky guy that goes behind it. So it's just a good practice not to buff on raised edges, come up to them but not on them. And the same thing for body lines. Just try to avoid them. Buff up to them, but don't buff on them. Okay, so now we're done with the first step, the compounding step. And again, if we take a look at this with our Rupes Swirl Finder pen light, I mean, the finish is absolutely crystal clear. In fact, to tell you the truth, it actually looks like we've already waxed the paint. It is that nice looking. And that's using an aggressive compound. It's the most aggressive compound they make, and their most aggressive cutting pad. And this kind of technology was unheard of 10 years ago, even 5 and 6 years ago. Usually when you use an aggressive compound and an aggressive pad, you might remove the defects, but you leave the paint looking scoured, and then you're forced to come back in and do more steps to get these kinds of results. And again, amazing abrasive technology, amazing tool technology, and amazing pad technology, and this looks phenomenal. But we're not gonna stop here. We're gonna go one more step. Now we're gonna switch over to their white ultra soft foam polishing pads for this side. So we're doing foam on the passenger side, and we're going to continue using the microfiber pads. We have the yellow pads, but we are going to use the white diamond ultra fine cut polish with these microfiber pads because we don't even need a fine cut polish. We've proved ourselves back here on the trunk lid when we did our test spot. We could get the kind of results we were looking for by using the least aggressive product possible. So go ahead, guys, when you're ready. And just one more comment. At this stage of the game, if you're new to machine detailing, usually it's the first step, the compounding step for any process with anybody's products when you're taking the swirls out that takes the most time. You've got to get the defects out at this stage of the game or they'll just be there at the end, except they'll be shiny. So spend all your time up front on the correction step. Now, when we go to this final polishing step, it'll go a little quicker because we're not trying to remove defects any longer. We're just trying to create a uniform finish, maximize gloss, maximize clarity. So go ahead and go, guys. Okay, then slow down after you get it spread out. 4. You can buff it, you still can buff at the high speed, but you want to slow your arm speed down. Remember, when you're doing a good job, it should look easy. Gabriel, you don't need to push very hard. We're done, John? How's it look, guys? Well, we always work as a team down here, and I trust your judgment, so you have to let me know when we're ready to move to the next step. Gabriel, how many project cars have you been down here for?
I believe this is my second.
Second one?
Yeah.
But you detail on the site anyway, don't you?
Yeah, I do it as a side job mostly.
Okay, so you're not brand new to detailing.
No, I've been doing it for about 6 months with machines. Before I used to do it for about 3 months with hand.
Yeah, you had a lot of fun when you come down here at Autogeek?
Of course. I mean, you get to work on cars, you get new machines to work with, so new products. Each
Hey.
help but the experience. So.
Hey, Craig, how long have you been coming down here?
About 6, 7 months, most of the year actually, since the Autogeek Fest.
Have you ever detailed a car by machine before you came here?
No.
First time?
Yes.
And you worked on some pretty cool projects down here with us. Okay. Okay, well, don't let me interrupt any longer. Go ahead and finish out here. This looks good.
Hey, I didn't do this front area. You want? I can. Well, I can go over there.
You want me to hit that?
I'll hit it. I still got a little product.
Go ahead and pull the tape off. We're done over there.
Gotta go around there one more time.
Okay.
Have you done this from here to here? I did up to here.
Paint pops
That looks
now.
that looks good. Okay, let's go ahead and wipe off. That looks good, guys. Good job. And let's move to the next step. Okay, I need some volunteers to give me a hand here. I got 5 applicator pads. Here, let's get the car owner in here.
Thank you very
Whoops,
much.
now I got 4.
Cables, right?
What's that?
We're done with the cable?
Yeah, we're done with the cables. There we go. Let's pull the extension cords out of the way. Okay, so this is the Black Label Surface Cleansing Polish. And what this is going to do is this is going to remove any of the polishing oils left over by the last 2 compounding and polishing procedures. And what I like about this product is it's very thick and creamy and offers a lot of lubricity. Now, in the car detailing world, most guys would use a solvent like isopropyl alcohol. And or a variant of that. There's a lot of these products on the market. The problem with that is these types of products, while they clean really well, they don't offer a lot of lubrication. And what I always share in the forum, I've got an article on this, is that when you use these types of products on a dark or a black colored car, if you look carefully in good light, a lot of times you'll see you marred the paint. So you just spend an entire day polishing the paint up to a crystal clear high gloss finish, and then you come back and chemically strip it only to work backwards, mar the paint. And so this is a product that offers a lot of lubrication, so it's gentle to the paint, you won't mar it, yet it's going to clean it and perfectly prepare it for the coating. And so the way you want to use this is always use a clean applicator pad. And here, I need some help. I'm not doing this by myself. Okay, and then a process like this, you actually don't want to be stingy. This isn't like putting a finishing wax on. So you can see I've got a fairly good sized dollop of product on there. And now I'm just going to come up here and I'll start in the middle and work out. And the way you apply this is kind of like a skin lotion to dry skin. You're trying to work it in, okay, so it'll emulsify and loosen up any of those polishing oils, and then you wipe it off. You don't apply this like a compound where you're rubbing really hard trying to get defects out. We already did that by machine polishing. Now we're just trying to loosen up any of the topical polishing oils so we can wipe them off. And clear coats are by their nature very impermeable. That means non-porous. They don't absorb well. So we're not trying to extract oils deep in the paint out, just what's on the surface. So it's a fairly quick operation. You can also apply this by machine using a DA polisher and a soft polishing pad, which is my normal favorite way to do it. But tonight, just for the brevity, we're just going to apply this by hand to show anybody how to do it, because almost everybody has a hand. Okay, can I get a volunteer to give me a hand here? Come on. Frank, get up here. You haven't done nothing. Well, Frank actually did. Frank always comes down here. This is my good buddy Frank. He goes by Frank S on the forum. And Frank always volunteers to do some of the grungier projects of this car. Like in a second or sometime tonight, Yancey will go down and take a look at the wheels and the tires. This car has brand new Michelin tires on it. They've never had any dressing that the owner knows of applied to them. We went ahead and cleaned them with the Tough Shine tire cleaner, and then we applied the Tough Shine clear coat tire dressing to them, or tire clear coat to them. And they have a very dark finish on them now, and they won't turn your wash mitts or your wash brushes or your sponges black when you wash your tires. And they pretty much won't let any kind of dirt or anything stick to them. They clean up really well and they stay black for a long time. It's my actual favorite tire dressing. I put it on everything I own and most of the cars that come down here. And but anyway, thank you, Frank, for tackling that dirty job. You got to sit down on the ground and work on the tires. So.
Yay, Frankie.
Okay, and then you don't need to let this product dry. So if you were doing this by yourself, you would usually apply to a panel at a time, or a huge panel like this, like the hood, maybe half at a time, and then come back and then just softly wipe this off. And let me go over wiping techniques real quick. Always take your microfiber towels, okay, fold them 4 ways. And here's a little technique I like to share that my friend Robert DiTrelisi showed me. Not only do I look at it, okay, and I can see there are no contaminants, but then I take my clean hand and I draw it across the face of the towel that I'm going to wipe with, and I don't feel anything, any kind of particulates on there. So I know it's clean, fold it 4 ways, and then right here where the edge is, I always kind of bring that up so it doesn't matter if it's edgeless or a sewn edge, because it's not going to touch the paint anyway. And this cushion will spread out the pressure of your hand, gives you 8 sides to wipe with. And then when you take product off, just use small overlapping circular motions like this, and anything is easy to wipe off. And the reason for that is because the product we're wiping off, or any product, compound, polish, wax, or sealant, it has its own natural grip to the paint. And if you try to take off too much at one time, the product overcomes your ability to remove it. When you take off just a small swipe at a time, you can overcome its grip strength, and that makes wiping anything off easy. But a lot of times I see guys and they're struggling, trying to wipe off, and they're making huge circular motions or back and forth motions, and they're just making it hard on themselves. Yeah, and actually if you guys want to go ahead and start working on the rest of the car, you can. We got to clean the entire car before we coat it. The focus for this video is just on the hood, but we do got to do the entire car tonight. Yes. We're going to use those for the coating. You can look inside this bottom drawer though, and there should be some more clean microfiber applicator pads in there.
Start here in the 1/4 pound.
very pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's looking a whole lot better. Just like from here down, all the way to the front, that's
Okay. How's that side looking? Yeah, it's looking nice and clear and clean, isn't it? Okay, we can go ahead and pull the pirate flag off, pull the tape off. Someone wants to pop the hood. We need to undo the tape underneath. Someone needs to open the door real quick for me there, Craig or Robert. I see a couple smudges up here. If you can turn your towel to a clean side, get those off. So let me look this up. So the pirate towel, or just any beach towel, the whole idea for that is when you're machine polishing, you don't want to get any kind of polish residue on that plastic fascia up there that's common around the windshield wiper arms. And you also want to get polish on the windshield wiper arms. So when you take a beach towel, because they're really long, and you bring them in like I've done here, secured it with a little piece of tape. Can someone grab that tape over there? You can cover all that up in one fell swoop, and now you don't got any detailing work to do later on. Okay. Beautiful. Yeah, so can you kind of pan through there and show that plastic that's in there and the wiper arms? See, that's the whole idea, is to protect all this stuff from getting splatter on it when you're machine polishing. And sometimes some cars have more of it that it's exposed in the path of polish splatter than others. But that's just how I tackle it. Part of the reason why is because I'm lazy. I don't mind buffing out cars. I just don't like detailing. To me, detailing is taking a toothbrush and running it down the cracks and crevices and getting splatter off of plastic trim. Beautiful. Okay, hood going down. Right over there. Hang on, Robert. Since we're spraying, let's show the Tornador gun. This is the cool thing.
I wouldn't want to have to pay this many guys.
Hey Yancey, let me show this real quick. Hey, a lot of you guys out there in the detailing world, if you got an air compressor, this is a Tornador air cleaning gun. It's got little bristles down here. This is the coolest thing. It takes about 90 psi, but anytime you get this dust in here, you just come in here, and what's going to happen when I pull the trigger is you see this little wand in here is going to spin around and create a tornado effect. Go ahead and blast it. Okay. But it does a great job of removing all the dust in and around emblems, the engine compartment, things like that. Tornador air gun. Okay, let's close this hood. That looks good. Okay, so while the guys are back there applying the surface prep polish to the rest of the body panels, see any smudges on there? Man, this looks good to me. Let's get the windshield here real quick so it looks good on camera. Okay, has everybody here applied a coating before? Anybody here that's not, raise your hand. Okay, so Gabriel, Stephen, have you applied a coating? You have?
I have not.
Chris hasn't. For life of me, Justin, where's your name tag? Okay. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and apply. Let me pull my little work table up here. This is the Black Label Diamond Paint Coating. Now this is a nano ceramic coating. It can provide up to 3 years of protection. And it's as simple as basically misting it on, spreading it around, getting it at an angle, and as you're applying it, just try to work it in until it pretty much disappears, allowing it to flash for about a minute, depending on your temperature, humidity, and any wind, where you're working. And then come back with a clean, soft microfiber towel and wipe any high spots off. High spots is the term the industry came up with to define excess product. I personally like to say excess product better because then I know what I'm talking about. High spots does not imply to me excess product on the surface, but that's just me. Anyway, I have 2 different styles here. These are our gold finger pockets, and they're very soft. You can slide your fingers right into them, okay? And then we have these new, they're like a wedge with the same type of gold foam on them, very soft in the handle. And these make it very easy to apply the product also. My good friend Rennie Doyle, he always says if it's on your skin, it's in you. And so nowadays, whenever I'm working with coatings, because this is some real amazing new technology, I do like to try to lead by example and put some safety gloves on. I'd like to ask all the guys here, if you're going to be working with the coatings tonight, that you also put the nitrile gloves on. There's some up here, and there's probably some back there somewhere. Okay, I'll go ahead and use the block style wedge here. Shake this product up a little bit before you use it. And then a technique I like to show guys is to first, in the TV world, you always want to prime your pump. That one's prime. Otherwise, on TV you'd go to apply it and nothing comes out. Yeah, but next thing I want to do is I actually want to apply some right to the face of the pad. Now that lubricates the pad so there's no dry spots on the foam. And then the next thing I want to do is mist down a couple mists onto the paint itself, and then start spreading this out. And this is why it's really key to have a very, very soft foam, because at this point of the game we wouldn't want to put any light marring back into the paint. Oh, then we talk quieter as we apply the coating. And one of the unique characteristics about the Black Label Diamond Paint Coating that I like is that it actually makes the surface very, very slick feeling. Most coatings leave the paint feeling kind of rubbery. And I'm not saying the way the paint feels is a negative feature, but I know people, and people like to feel a slick feeling paint job. They like to take and rub a microfiber towel over their hood of their car and have it basically slide off the hood of the car. So it's an aesthetic characteristic that people like. Okay, can I get a volunteer with gloves on to apply to this other side over here? There's another bottle up there. Okay, now I'm going to come back up here, and I've applied this to the entire surface, and without... Yeah, that's fine too. Mist it a little bit on. Hold it back a little farther, then it atomizes the spray. And there you go, just like that. I like that word, atomizes. That's right. It atomizes the spray.
He likes to use the scientific terms.
The mister has a great atomizer. Anyway, I just want to come back in. I don't think I got this very front part here. And if I see any excess product or what's called high points, basically just do my best to kind of work them in. Just like that. Okay. And then the next thing you want to do, I've done half this panel, and as I look over here, I can kind of see a few high points, excess residue. So I want to get a very clean microfiber towel. So we'll go here to the cabinet.
Think you can find one in there, Mike?
Oh, I'm starting to run low. These are some really soft towels that we carry here at Autogeek. I really like the way these things feel. They're very, very, very soft. So for this final wipe, I like to use these, but any quality microfiber towel will work. Okay, then the same thing, just want to come back up and looking at an angle. Just look down here. Wipe. I see quite a bit of product right there. See it? There you go. And then just softly give this panel a final wipe. And what's a good idea anytime you're detailing cars, especially for money, is if you have someone else around with a fresh set of eyes, have them come down and take a look at it, and they might find a space or a place that you missed. So can I get someone else to come down here? And just on my side of the hood, like I see, when I stood back 10 feet, I could see a little bit there and right here.
Thanks, Robert.
How's that look?
Great.
Okay, John, you've applied it. Have you done the final wipe yet? Okay.
As good as it's gonna be.
Here you go. Same kind of thing. We'll pull your edges up. Remember how I showed how to do that? Take your towel, lay it down and pull the edges up. So the only thing that's touching is the face of the towel. So it's very, very soft. Yeah, go ahead. If you guys want to go ahead and start putting the coating on the rest of the car. And hey, can I get one of you guys, another set of eyes, take a look and see if he's left any high points behind? He hasn't moved up to there yet. And John, you're supposed to be loving on your car right now. Loving on it. Not, this isn't a $5 car wash. There you go. Let's see some love. Let's see some passion. This ain't no $5 car wash. Scratch your car for $5.
Yeah. Sounds like a carnival act.
I saw one of these set up in the parking lot down the road right before SEMA. And as I was driving by, there was what looked like, you know, some young kids probably doing a charity fundraiser to raise some money for uniforms or something. And as I drove by, I looked, I saw a brand new black Dodge Ram pickup. This was the King Cab dually. Man, it looked like some money. Black. And the kids are all bebopping around it, probably just scratching the heck out of it. And here's what you do with those types of car washes. Well, it's a great idea to help these people. Drive in, give them the $5, and then drive out. Don't let them actually wash your car. That way you feel good. Okay? You've helped the cause, but wash the car yourself. Clear coat paints are thin. Anytime you put a scratch in them to remove them means taking some paint off the car. Here in southern Florida, if you take too much paint off the car, you'll see cars driving around that looks like they have a rash. That's called clear coat failure. The only way to fix that is with a new paint job. So I think I got that spot, but since you put it on there, let's go ahead and spread it. I didn't get down there though. I was only going to do the top surfaces.
It was hard to tell because you were talking.
Well, when I'm not talking, I'm typing. So
I know.
That goes on very thin.
very thin. Yes, it's clear in the bottle. It's very clear in application, and that's why you have to get down at an angle to actually see where you applied it. Now that this is dried for a few seconds, man, that is slick.
Thank you very a general rule of thumb, how many applications per bottle? Or
It just depends on the size of the car. I don't know. You're supposed to use it sparingly. So use correctly multiple cars. How's that? Yeah.
Is this good for also plastic too, or just paint?
We have an all-surface coating that you can use on any hard, smooth surface. Okay, so, and we actually used this on a Mercedes-Benz a couple weeks ago. Some of you guys were down here for that. But that's our diamond surface coating. So this is multiple surfaces: headlights, glass, paint, smooth hard plastic, wheels, chrome. And then we have dedicated coatings. This is the diamond wheel coating. And here's the diamond glass coating. And before this car leaves tonight, we will be applying these two products to the wheels and also to the glass. So when this car leaves, it's going to be completely coated, ready to either show off or protect from the elements as we head into winter here in southern Florida.
That's not much of a winter. Don't laugh. We beat hurricane season so far. Hey, it's 15 days left, buddy.
What do you think, Justin?
My house this morning. When I first came in, I didn't think it looked too bad.
Only has 6,000 miles on it. It's a brand new car. Yeah. Now this thing wasn't incredibly wiped out when it got here.
Yeah, the clarity.
Yeah, but the thing is we're doing this for a guy that is a car guy. Okay, so he wants his car to look its best. And the other thing I like to point out to people is it's one thing to take a car that's in really bad shape. I mean, it is visibly hacked up, filled full of swirl scratches, water spots, oxidation. I mean, really bad, and do a dramatic before and after. When you bring something in that's actually in pretty good shape, you know, it's really hard to take it to a higher level. In order to do it, everything you use has to be the highest quality you can obtain. We could have never touched the paint on this car with an archaic, what I call an archaic caveman compound. It would have rocks in the bottle. It would have just scratched the heck out of it.
Mike, if you don't mind me saying, it's so clear now, the metallic almost looks like it's laying on top when you look at it.
It is.
The metal flake in there,
Feel how this glides over the paint now.
it's incredible.
Yeah, and remember, again, when we started, we did the baggy test, and to our bare hand, the paint felt smooth, but when we did the baggy test, you could feel some kind of contaminants on there. Did anybody save that one clay patty that had the black stuff on it? It looks like they're all kind of kneaded up. But I had one of the guys, clay just John, I think. I had John, was it you? Yeah. Clay just the hood, and then not destroy his patty so we could get a picture of it. And there you could see some sort of black gunk on it. Here's what's left of it. There you go. Can you see that, Yancey? So even a brand new car with only 6,000 miles needs to be clayed. But the only way to really tell is to first wash it, get it clean, inspect it tactically with your sense of touch, and do what we call the baggy test. Get a sandwich baggie, put your hand in it, and then feel the paint. And I think that pretty much is going to finish this car off, except for the glass and wheels, which we'll do off camera. Yancey, is there any shots that you would like to try to get? Let me play with this adjustable swirl finder light. Man, that sure is pretty. Oh, with the wheel coating or the paint coating? Either one? Okay. I'm in a shadow here though.
Or use the light.
Alright, now show me the back of the bottle. There you go. That's good. That is good. And you can read the directions on the back. That's pretty good.
That's right. Well, and the goal is always to make a clear coat as clear as possible so you can see the base coat underneath. And a lot of guys come up to the forum and they ask how to make the paint on their car pop. And a lot of times they think it's a specific wax, a specific sealant, a specific coating. But technically, the goal is always the same, is to get the clear coat as clear as you can. You want to get it as clear as you can, and you do that by getting it as defect-free as possible. And then to maximize the gloss, you need to get the paint as smooth as you can. And again, that starts with removing the contaminants. Gloss comes from smoothness. So clarity comes from removing defects, gloss comes from smoothness. Yes, sir. Oh, got a smudge. Where's my second set of eyes over here?
That'll be me.
I think Yancey wants to do a slow panning beauty shot of the car. So we need to make sure everything is...
Tell you what, that gloss is just gorgeous. Man, it's that pretty.
Okay, I think we're ready. Can you unload all that stuff right to there? Yeah, just unload it all. Is there an coating bottle that's not being used right now? There's-
This might be the last time your car gets massaged by so many different people. That is.
You can't do this once a year, guys?
Okay.
Last thing I got for free cost me $8 to get rid of. Wow. Yeah, you too. What a good Thanksgiving.
Don't forget next week, 67 Chevelle, Thursday night.
Leaving, Robert?
We might have some new toys to play with too. We always have new stuff. Autogeek's where all the action's at.
Robert, don't hang on them for him.
You have fun, Steven? Self-portrait. Okay, let's wrap up. Hey guys, y'all want to come over here and get behind me just so everybody can see and wave goodbye? I need a bottle of that coating so I can show what we used on here. I got that. There we go. Thank you. Oh, I'll take my Rupes Swirl Finder pin light. Pretty cool. Okay, that's our show for tonight. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us and watching. Tonight, again, just to kind of recap, we took a 2013 Dodge Charger. We cleaned it using the detailer's waterless auto wash to remove all the light dirt and dust. The next thing we did is we clayed it. We used Pinnacle Ultra Poly Clay. After that, we went ahead and we used the Rupes polishing system, including the microfiber pads, the foam pads, their compound, and their ultrafine polish, to remove all the swirls and scratches, refine the finish, maximize gloss and clarity. Then we took and we removed all the polishing oils using the Black Label surface cleansing polish, and then we followed that with the Black Label diamond paint coating. And I think the results speak for themselves. Hey guys, I'd like to just everybody clap because you did such a great job. And for more information on this, you can always visit autogeek.net. I always encourage you, if you're not a member, an active member, to join our forum. That's autogeekonline.net. And with that, I'll see you on the forum.